report, and has everyone had an opportunity to review that report?
Yes, Judge.
I have it.
Any additions or corrections to that report?
Nothing to finish.
Judge, the only thing I have is, speaking with Mr. Hoffpower last week, it was not his position, I don't believe, to put on any additional evidence because of the fact that Mr. Chillo pled true to count one. The others just kind of actually patterned that, and based on Ms. Simon's recommendation of continuing him on probation with JCDI. We don't have evidence of that. If the court needs it, we can get it. But
No, are y'all in agreement with that recommendation, Ms. Muffino?
Ms. Simon is.
And Ms. Simon, that's still your recommendation? You believe that? It looks like, for the most part, Mr. Chillo, you've been doing everything you're supposed to, especially on the type of probation you're on, which is great, and that gives me less concern. But it looks like there have been some issues specifically with some drug usage that you need some help for, and probation is willing to give you that help and keep you on probation. I want to make sure you understand, if I go along with this today and continue you on probation, and if you violate again in any way, it is probably not going to go as well as it's going to today. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, then I'm going to find that you entered your pleas of true to counts 1, 2, 3, 5, and 7 freely and voluntarily. Find those counts true. Find sufficient evidence in each case to find you guilty and revoke your probation, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to continue you on probation in each of your cases in order that, as a condition of that probation, you enter and successfully complete the JCDI program. You will be on the high-medium caseload, so you're going to be going to probation more often. You're going to be going to JCDI. If you test positive, if you continue to violate in any way, you're going to be back in here, and again, we're not going to have such a nice conversation. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
What you're on probation for is extremely serious. I appreciate that you're doing that part of your probation well, but I want to make sure you know you have to do all of it. Good morning, sir. Are you Devin Keith Byerly?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Byerly has two cases that he is currently on probation for, and motions to revoke probations have been filed in each of those. Cause number 18-28800, on probation for violation of a protective order, and also in 18-29063 on probation for violation of a protective order. Those are both deferred probations. Mr. Burbank has filed requests in both of those cases asking that I set bonds. Sometimes I do that without a hearing, but due to the nature of the underlying offenses as well as the new alleged offense, I wanted to come and hear from probation and the state as to what your position is with regard to any bond that I would set. Ms. Malfino?
Yes, ma'am. Judge, obviously I will defer to whatever Ms. Johnson thinks is appropriate. I do want to let the court know I did reach out to the complainant in the underlying offense. I've actually maintained contact with her just on a friendly basis since the original offense that I handled back in 2019, just to be able to assure the court that those issues do not involve that complainant, the issues that he's having now. There is no issue with the Hartley family, which I was glad to hear. Obviously, my concern is that there's been another assaultive offense. There's also been an allegation of a possession of a controlled substance. So 2 new offenses while on this bond, in addition to multiple violations, in addition to everything that Ms. Johnson has already made available to Mr. Byerly. So I know that he's entitled to a bond as he is on deferred.
Maybe he is without certain findings, so that's why we're here. So just also for the record, Mr. Byerly, and I know you know this, but I'm going to go through just so that we're all clear what the allegations are in that motion, and just that they're allegations, and obviously they haven't been proven true. But it looks like you have an allegation that you committed an offense of assault April 21st of 2025, that you tested positive in a urine sample for opiates, that you did not provide verification of attending the JCDI program. Looks like there was another urine sample that tested positive for alcohol in April of this year. Then it also alleges that you committed a new offense of possession of a controlled substance, May of this year, that you possessed crack cocaine, which is the same date as that offense. and that you were at a other location other than your residence at approximately 3:19 a.m. on May 29th, the date of that offense of this year. So what, do you have the status? I know the lab, we've had some issues with lab results. Is there any idea on that, Ms. Malfino?
I do not know, Judge. I would venture to guess that with it only being several weeks ago, we probably do not have anything. I'm happy to reach out to the agency and ask if they can expedite that through the lab and be prepared for a hearing whenever the board is.
And Ms. Johnson, thank you for being here. And so what is your thought, I guess, with regard to setting a bond? And if I did set a bond, what specific conditions do you think would be
So I
helpful?
received his case. I became his officer in February of last year.
Okay.
And since then, I have put him in ISF cognitive. I have put him in JCDI. Prior, he's been an MRT. He tells us that he understands he has a drug problem, but then still continues to go do what he's doing. We've tried to help him as much as we can. And I went and visited him, I believe last week or 2 weeks ago, and he told me the reason he would need a bond was so he could go work out of county. And I don't think that's a smart decision. If you put him on bond, I would say a drug patch would be smart. A GPS would be smart, but ultimately, Your Honor, it's up to you, but I don't think a bond is a smart decision.
Yeah, I don't either.
Can I have?
You may. Go
can I
ahead.
ask her a question? When did you place it on JCDI? Do you have a date of when this time? When was he actually placed in? Was it 2019? When he was placed on probation?
For probation?
Yes.
2019, May 13th.
When did you place him on JCDI? Was it just recently?
Yes, sir. It was in the last.
February of 2025.
Okay, so what changed between 2019 and February 25 to say now you need JCDI?
His drug intake went up. We've tested on multiple occasions. He's tested positive for cocaine on multiple occasions. And we believe outpatient would be the best for him. He had spoken to me briefly as well that he had some issues he wanted to talk through. He had some family issues he wanted to talk through. So we got him in front of a counselor, him getting the drug treatment is what he needed. He agreed with us that's what he needed. So he believes that outpatient program is the best option for him.
Did he go to JCDI?
He did. He did test positive on multiple occasions. He drank at one point and he admitted that to us.
So when did he stop going to JCDI, or was he still going at the time of this offense?
He was still going at the time of the offense, but since he picked up a new offense, they had to drop him from that program.
So it was the new offense that dropped him, it wasn't him not going?
As well as the drug use.
Okay. And was there another program too that you said?
He had done ISF cognitive track.
And what is that?
It is the interesting facility that we send people to, about 90 days long, and he went the cognitive track, so the thinking track.
And roughly when was that?
March of 2024.
Thank you.
All right, anything else, Mr. Burbank?
Mr. Barlow, you've heard what the probation officer said. Did you talk to the probation officer?
Yes, sir.
Speak up so we can hear you.
Yes, sir.
If the court was to allow bond, what is your plan in reference to what you would do when you got out?
As far as my plan, I mentioned to my probation officer, and I believe I mentioned also to you that I would like to get into our outpatient program at great choice if possible, which will allow me to, I just told her that I couldn't work out of the county. The reason why I asked for that was because I'm working at minimum 1,000 hours less than I'm going to work.
You are a longshoreman, is that
Yes,
correct?
yes, sir, I am a longshoreman.
And the incident in reference to the assault had to deal with your supervisor at the port, is that correct?
Yes, sir. It is.
And so the only ports that you know of are either Houston, Corpus Christi, or Louisiana that
I
you
work,
go
I
to.
work at, and as far as making my payments and getting back on track, I had a stroke last year.
I'm not worried about your payments.
Yes, ma'am.
You had a stroke last year?
Yes,
And you're still testing positive for drugs after having a stroke.
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I had issues. That's not an excuse, but that's my daughter.
Do you have a place to stay?
Yes, I do.
And where is that?
Two was apartments, Mosaic Apartments is where I
Who
live.
stays with you?
No, I live by myself.
Who would supervise you? Do you have any family?
Yes, I do have
What
family.
family do you have?
My sister, Latoya Byerly, also my mother, Byerly, and I have an uncle, Clifford Williams.
And how far away do they live?
Well, as far as my mother and my sisters, they live in Houston. As far as a good friend of mine, she lives right there in Port Arthur, in Fraser.
Do you have any kids?
Yes, sir.
Where are they?
I have one in, she's a cheerleading coach at Iowa State University. My son is in, I have two kids here in Beaumont. One that I'm not allowed to see, and then also Tristan. I just reconnected with Tristan, my 11-year-old.
Mr. Miley, just one last question.
Yes, sir.
How can you guarantee this court, if released, that you wouldn't be taking either alcohol or drugs pending the outcome of this hearing?
Well, for one,
What guarantees?
I would accept that offer of the batch. And I would guarantee, I just want to get back to work. What I do, I don't go to work and come home.
You do other things, because you've done other things.
Yes, I have.
What's the guarantee that says you're not gonna do those other things when you're doing work and going home?
At this particular time, offer my word, even though the past doesn't.
That's right.
Yes, and that's what I told him, I see this as my last opportunity to keep everything that I have, and that's,
One of the things is that you tested positive. What date was that, Your Honor? On the,
I don't know, Mr. Burbank. What date is it?
no, I was wondering what date it was on the allegation.
There's a date of April, if I may.
Go
April
ahead.
29th, April
Did you
15th.
test positive for alcohol back on that date?
yes, I did.
And was there a date also of positive for cocaine? Was there?
Yes.
Yeah, there was. So those allegations are true, correct?
Yes, I did.
If the court is not considering a bond and that he needs help, he has pled true, Your Honor, to testing dirty at this point,